Buckeye Cast. The brotherhood, playing for the guy next to you, playing for the team.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? You're tuned in to the Buckeye Cast.
Buckeye Cast. Tradition of Ohio State, we take that serious.
These fellas were born and bred in the Buckeye State.
Buckeye Cast. The people of Ohio, we work every day to make them proud.
Visit us at thebuckeyecast.com and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at the Buckeye Cast.
Buckeye Cast.
Now here's your host, Joe Warwick.
I'm proud to be part of this group. Go Bucks!
Buckeye Nation, we are back. This is week 1, getting ready. Season 4, week 1, getting ready for this FAU Fighting Lane Kiffin's team.
FAU?
Yeah, Shawn. You know all about FAU, right? Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Motherfucking FAU.
Where are these guys out of? Like Lauderdale?
Boca. Same shit.
Boca.
Different beach. Same shit. So anyways, first of all, I need to congratulate the winners of our t-shirt giveaway last week. I did a t-shirt giveaway. We had 3 winners, and the 3 winners were, their Twitter names were at Mason's MVP, at Mr. Window 8, and at Really Cool 31. So congrats to those people. You'll be getting your shirts soon. As soon as I can crank them out of the basement. Just kidding. But folks, please pay attention. Follow us on Twitter. We'll be doing another t-shirt giveaway soon. We'll do a few throughout the season. It's a good way to get a free shirt. You know, get you ready for the Buckeye football season. It's only 3 months long, so you need a shirt. And as always, we have the same 20% off code, TBCSS20, TBCSS20. Save you 20% off the t-shirt store. Don't forget to visit the BuckeyeCast.com for that.
Twin.
Yeah. So, let's get into this. Week 1, let's fucking go. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna do a depth chart here real quick. I think this has been almost completely solidified. And a lot of this is from recent press conferences and shit, but interviews with coaches and all that. But I'll sprinkle in some quotes as I do. Quarterback, obviously, we touched on last week with the
Chugs.
Yeah, the official announcement. Chugs is your starter. To the surprise of no one on this podcast, we are a pro Chugs podcast. Always have been, always will be, Chugs. So feel free to reach out. So Fields will be backing him up. Chugs is QB1, and you got Hoke back there, still finding his way. But so that's what we got. That's a good depth chart start, right? Pretty accurate.
I think we nailed it.
Next.
No, but seriously, obviously Fields. I'm so freaking excited to see this kid and see what we got here. Gosh, I mean, a lot of it's like a gut-wrenching anxiety I have to see this kid. I know he's got all the talent in the world, but he just hasn't played a lot of big-time, important college football with the expectations that Buckeye Nation puts upon a player. I hope it's not too much for him, and I'm excited to see him play.
Yep.
I don't know what we got yet. Excited to see.
A lot of talent there. It's just seeing it translated to the field.
Yeah,
I agree. So sorry, Chugs. We were just joking. Obviously, Justin Fields is your starter. May or may not be my microscope when we get into the picks for the game. Spoiler alert. Running back. This has changed drastically from last week, and this was kind of dropped on us somewhat to a surprise of mine. DeMario is now the backup to Dobbins. Tony Tony Alford said that he's bigger, so obviously he's been able to be a little bit more physical. He's an older guy. He's providing leadership. He's making plays and playing with a good rate of speed right now and doing well. So, if Alford is confident in DeMario taking the second team reps, I'm good with it.
I'm on board. I'm excited about it. I was worried he was going to get in a position where he's kind of a hybrid guy or this or that, and he's kind of a halfback, but RH back, but not, and he's kind of a running back, but he's not, and he just get lost in translation, if you will. To give him this running back 2 role, I think allows a lot of creativity on third downs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like someone was saying, is he big enough? What is the kid? He's not that tall, and he's like 195 pounds.
Right.
That's not that small.
No,
I mean, it's not like he's 6'2".
Right. He's bulked up. He's definitely put on the weight, and if he can just stay injury-free, that's like exactly what we need. We're still going to see Crowley and Teague, in my opinion, the first few weeks in these non-conference games. So let's not forget about them. But DeMario number 2 is no problem with me.
Well, I heard a comment that kind of made a little sense in knowing what, I guess I'm not sure that I do know, but thinking what I know about DeMario McCall is that, say Dobbins were to go down, that wouldn't necessarily make McCall running back number 1. You know, it might be Crowley or Teague that's still running back number 1, but McCall's got his plays and it still fits that role of what he does.
Yeah. It would definitely change the snap count for everybody, that's for sure. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So, tight ends, we got Farrell, Barry, and then behind them you got Ruckert and Houseman. I mean, you will see some moments and some snaps of 2 tight end sets. But Ruckert's a beast, man. This kid is bulked up. If you watch his interviews, the kid is fucking 250 now at 6'5". And he's running a 4.7 40, dude. This kid is a beast suddenly just in 1 year.
I mean, seriously, if you look at it, is there a deeper room at Ohio State than tight end? I mean, all these kids were in primo.
Right. Jake
Houseman
was the highest rated tight end in his class. Not at Ohio State, in his class. And this is his 3rd year in the program. He can't see the fucking field.
No, a lot of talent came through there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy. I think you got guys with different skill sets that can do different things. I think we're going to be fine at tight end. Yeah. I just I wonder if you're going to find a way to get them the ball to keep tight ends coming to Ohio State like we've enjoyed the last few years.
Right. I think this might be where we see that tight end used in those other roles, flexed out, like almost in the H position. Like Kevin Wilson says here, his quote was, "Guys are fighting to get on the field. When we get in these early games, we're not going to try to be cute. Some of these guys have earned the right to play, whether that's just 1 tight end, 2 tight ends. But Coach Day and myself and Mike Yursich will work through these first couple of weeks, and I don't think anything's going to be radical," is what he's saying. So Kevin Wilson, being the tight ends coach, he wants to get these guys all on the field, and that's understandable because there's just too much talent there.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But hey, if Iowa can get 2 first-round tight ends drafted,
right? We could be looking at that, depending on what kind of year Rucker has. Barry's a senior. He's not the all-around threat that the other guys are, especially as a receiver. He's a hell of a blocker, but not a receiver, that's for sure. At receiver, we got Ben Vick, backed up by Garrett Wilson and Jalen Harris. This is still an ongoing battle between those two guys for the backup role. At the Z, we got Mack and Olave behind him. And then at the H, we got KJ and then Jalen Gill and CJ Saunders kind of fighting for that backup to KJ Hill. So much talent there, too. This is another deep, this is going to be a recurring theme, folks. We're going to be talking about deep quality talent behind the starters.
It is so deep that, and I got to say right now, for the couple teams that I do know, the Big Ten has got some serious wide receivers this year. And a lot of that I'm saying is because Michigan State's guys, Michigan's guys,
right.
Our guys. Well, that's a lot of dudes. I mean, a lot of dudes.
And you're not even talking about Rondale
I don't think
Moore.
Nobody can go too deep like Ohio State.
Right. Yeah, this depth of talent is not going to be matched anywhere across the Big Ten, that's for sure. I mean, Michigan might have a good starting 2 or 3, but they don't have much behind that. Same with Purdue. They got Rondale Moore. Not much behind that. Nebraska, no. Who else is there that's going to have 2 and 3 wides of quality? Yeah.
Spielman.
That's it. Who's behind him? I can't name him. So, yeah, that's my opinion across the 2 deep on the receivers. Jumping down to the O-line, most important position on the field. Again, this hasn't changed, in my opinion, at all. We got left to right, Munford, Jonah Jackson, Josh Myers, Wyatt Davis, Brandon Bowen. And Brandon Bowen and Nicholas Petit-Frere have been battling through camp, but I think Brandon Bowen, with his age and experience, is going to get the start over NPF.
We'll see. I mean, it sounds like that was or even is a pretty tight race. Mm-hmm. I think the last thing I read is they'll both see the field.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's going to be any rotating in and out. That gets weird easy to do on the D line, tough to do on the O line. Mm-hmm. If there was one spot on the O line where maybe you could rotate it out, right tackle might be the spot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. At some point, Nicholas Petit-Frere, or however the heck you say it,
NPF.
is going to be a special talent and a early round draft pick, in my opinion.
Yep. We're going to see all these guys on the field. Like, this entire depth chart is going to be used. This is going to be on the field on Saturday.
Problem is, Nick MPF doesn't play this year, or play sparingly, or whatever, and then he's outright starter next year for sure, and then he's gone. 1 year, one and done.
Maybe. I'll take that chance. I'm not sure that happens, but you got to risk it. This is only his second year on the team, so it's not a big deal. So, D-line, let's flip it over. Left to right, we got Chase Young, Devon Hamilton, Jayshon Cornell, and then Jonathan Cooper is going to be out. We had him in our 2 deep originally. Ohio State is being very, very quiet with their injuries now. They're not giving you shit for information. Basically, this high ankle sprain where Cooper had to have surgery on his ankle last week, this was like leaked out. This was not info given by Ryan Day or any other coach. All the coaches are referring to Ryan Day to release any injury info. I don't know if this is like a HIPAA thing or what, but it doesn't make sense to me. Protecting the injury stuff is kind of silly and reminds me of hockey, where they say he's got like a lower body injury.
Well, that's concerning to me, because don't we have is it Tyreek Johnson or one of these other guys that's banged up too? Where at the end spot, I still think we have a lot of depth, but like the guys that I maybe considered our second and third or second and fourth best guys haven't been playing because they're banged up. Cooper and Smith.
Yeah.
So now, to me, that means, because I don't think it's going to change that they're going to want to bring in guys. If those guys can't go, this opens the door for the Baptiste.
Yep, exactly.
For the
Tyler Friday, Tyreek Smith.
Friday.
Yep, exactly.
All these guys. Zach Harrison even come in and
sure
make some noise early.
Sure.
That kid out of Menor, I hear, is tough.
Yeah.
There's another kid he's out of Pinkerton that I think's flying under the radar.
Yeah, you got Alex Williams has been there a while, and he's up to 270. He's put on some weight. So, yeah, there are bodies. Cooper brings like an energy and leadership, being a fifth-year senior. So hopefully this doesn't keep him out too long, but he will miss a few weeks. So this is not just a 1 week issue.
That's what they're saying, or they're speculating?
Well, he had surgery, so he's not going to come back this week, and probably not. It could be like a 4-week injury.
I was reading something on one of them sites where, and I didn't know this, and there's like a high sprained ankle, like you don't have surgery on that, and then some other people chimed in on a message board, and they're like, well, no, actually in today's medicine, you can come in and do some stuff with that. So it goes way beyond my understanding of high ankle sprains and whatnot. But
it probably depends on the location and the severity, I'd imagine. But yeah, like you said, we got Tyler Friday. I'm going to go across the second team. We're going to see all of these guys this week. Tyler Friday, Robert Landers, Tommy Togiai, Teron Vincent, Haskell Garrett, those four guys in the middle, and then Tyreek Smith on the other end. And I think we got to see Zach Harrison, honestly.
Yeah, but I think I heard somewhere that is Tyreek Smith healthy?
Yeah. Yeah, he's in.
All right.
He might have been dinged up, but I guarantee he's going to play Saturday.
I hope so. He's like the next.
Oh,
you know, Coop and Chase are going to be gone next year. I think. I think Tyreek Smith next year becomes the man, and and then it's like him and Zach Harrison and Friday and Baptiste. Keep that whole rotation going.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, and linebackers, we covered this last week, but it's going to be the same rotation if in a 4-3 set as last year. Weak side is Malik Harrison, middle is Tough, Borland, and then Pete Werner on the strong side. I went back and did some research on snap counts last year, and Malik Harrison was at 863 snaps last year. Pete Werner was at 833. Tough Borland at 537. And Baron Browning, who is kind of the focus of my eye, at 289. He did miss 2 games with injury. Tough says that he feels night and day different from this year to last year. And he says that he said, I feel a huge difference. I'm excited for the upcoming season. I feel great. I have a whole winter, spring, summer all under my belt, feeling completely ready, completely healthy, and excited for the seasons to start. So, as everybody speculated, he was not 100%, maybe not even 75% last year, coming off the Achilles, right?
It didn't even look. I mean, you could notice. I mean, the layman could notice that watching games. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, And Ohio State tried too hard to hide his injury and not just come out with it, and just say, look, he's banged up, he's fighting through it, but, they just want to keep it a secret. It's like, well, then now we're just going to bang on the kid because we think he sucks, So which do you want?
I think he's tough as nails, and which is frankly his Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of these kids, especially ones that have so much talent behind them, that they're going to try and fight as hard as they can through the injury to not lose their spot. There's so much talent behind them at these programs, like Ohio State. It's like, man, I don't want to give up. And I think that his teammates have voted him a captain. I think everything I've ever heard about him, and just when you're out there, the weight and the importance that the Shiano defense put on a middle linebacker, might have just been burdensome. And Tough might have been the only guy that was able to handle that burden, frankly.
Right.
With all the exotic calls and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, getting people lined up and all that. One of the comments Al Washington had about Tough was somebody asked him, how does Tough do it? And Al Washington said, watch the tape. Come in with me and watch the tape. The kid is a warrior. He gets to the ball. So if the linebacker coach is all in on Tough, then I have to be all in on Tough because I don't see what he sees.
Like I said, we'll see. Tough came in, had a great season, and then had a just terrible season.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see where he's at.
Yeah.
I just again, I think he better have the heart of a warrior. I think he better be the smartest guy on the defense, because you got people like Taraja and Baron Browning that are amazing.
Yep. Yeah, and that goes into the 2 deep here for the linebackers. What I have from weak to strong, I got weak side, I got Dallas Gant and possibly Kayvon Pope sharing that backup role behind Malik Harrison. And then in the middle, we got Taraja, my hitter, and Baron Browning. And then on the strong side, Taraja can go out there as well. So one thing about Baron Browning that is concerning, from what an Ohio State beat writer has said, that Baron Browning is super smart, isn't as natural reading blocks. So he'll be used more on blitzes and in coverage, where he doesn't have to read a run play,
He's already got an assignment. It's like, you're going here.
Exactly. And that's why he should be playing outside, not in the middle. Because in the middle, you have to read 100%, right?
Yeah, but if you can't read blocks, can you read receivers and routes and shit?
You'd think that would be pretty quick to key on and basic.
Yeah, maybe.
Versus running, where it could be a running play, but if you can't read the keys, like which direction, that's a problem. If you're in the middle, you're supposed to fill a hole.
And now a tight end's cleaning your shit.
Yeah. Or
you're looking the other way, tight end just blasted you.
Exactly. So, big problem if you can't read your keys. Even, I don't know, it's confusing to me how he can be super smart, yet not read his keys properly. So.
Yeah, but I read something too, but they're like, he's such a freaking freak athlete.
Right, he makes
they're like,
up
yeah,
for it.
when you put him on those blitzes or something, it's a difference.
Right. Yeah. And there's an injury, getting into the corners, there's been an injury with Tyreek Johnson, the kid out of Jacksonville. This is his second year in the program, and nobody will talk about it. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why all these injuries have to be like super secret,
Is that what's going on? Because I was wondering,
yeah.
I was expecting him to basically be on the 2 deep right now.
Right. Me too. And they're saying he's still injured. I think Ryan Day said it in his last press conference, but I'm like, can we get an idea of how long he's going to be out? You don't have to tell me what part of his body is injured. I just want to know, like, is he coming back this year? This is his second fucking season. We haven't seen it. It's frustrating. So getting into the corners still, like the starting rotation I got is Damon Arnett, Okudah, Wade, and Sevyn Banks. That's going to be your rotation of 4. Obviously, going against 3 and 4 wide receiver sets, you're going to add dudes in there. I just don't know who those dudes might be at this point because nobody's talked about a Marcus Williamson or Tyreek Johnson,
Oh, I think you are going to see those Sevyn Banks and Amir Reeves and Marcus Williamsons get some serious PT this year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I would expect to see all 3 of those guys Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to see the entire secondary, I'd imagine. At safety, you got Fuller, you got Isaiah Pryor backing up Fuller. And then the other safety spot / bullet position, depending on the formation, you got B. White, and I think Proctor's going to be backing up B. White. And Jocelyn Wint mixed in there too. But I don't know how you keep Proctor off the fucking field.
Well, to me, I don't think that Proctor's necessarily going to be backing up Brendan White. I think that's a different spot. I mean, White's the bullet, a little bit bigger. Where Proctor to me is a safety and a stud.
Right. It really depends on how the offense comes out. Like all this defensive depth chart is going to depend on who's on the field for the offense.
Right.
So, I like B. White, Proctor. I think Proctor has to get on the field in some capacity, whether he's backing up Fuller or whatever. I just hear too many good things about this kid for 2 years now to keep him off the field.
And I don't want to overlook Pryor. I've always been a big Pryor fan. I thought Pryor was going to be the next stud back there.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's got Proctor on his heels. But, next year maybe it's Isaiah Pryor and Proctor.
Yeah, could be. But Proctor got into a lot of games last year. He might have burned his red shirt. I'd have to double check the scholarship chart, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a true sophomore year for him. Special teams quickly. Obviously, Drew Chrisman is the man. Punting. Excuse me. I don't know. We're just going to live and die by him, probably. Blake Hobble, another mediocre kicker coming through the program. Haven't really had a consistent guy since fucking Mike Nugent, in my opinion. Punt return, I think we're going to stick with KJ Hill, probably, just for his sure-handedness. And we're not trying to score touchdowns on punt return, obviously. We're just trying to get possession and 10 to 15 yards, probably, right?
I think so. I mean, it's nice to have a guy, and we should, with all the athletes on our team, have a guy that can, scare you a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, we just don't need a mistake. No mistakes.
Yep. So at kick return, we'll probably stick with DeMario again this year, and probably one of the backup running backs. I would imagine not Teague, maybe Crowley. Somebody with some speed, some shakes, but some size too. You're not going to stick unless you got a receiver back there that you want to put there. But DeMario's basically a 195-pound guy. I know we had Dixon back there in the past. He didn't do much at all.
We never do. And kickoff, you just don't do much anymore in college football, frankly.
Right. Smart and possession is best, especially with a high-powered offense like we have. We don't need to take risks with some jackass that's trying to go 100 yards, So that's the two deep I see coming up this week. Not sure when they're going to release an official one. I can't imagine it's much different at all. But
will they release an official one?
yeah, they will. I don't know if it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Who knows? Because everything's changing. Like the media availability on a weekly basis is going to change. I'm sure our two deep is not too far off. So
it's close. I think a lot of positions. We went through this that.
Yeah.
Ohio State's two deep. We actually have a three deep in a lot of positions.
That's right. Yeah. Because people are still battling. This two deep is not hammered out by any means. Guys are still fighting for the second position. And that's true with every program across the country. It just hasn't been finalized. I mean, hopefully your quarterback has been finalized, but a lot of the O-line and wide receiver positions haven't been finalized.
No, but what's different is I'm I got a 4-star fighting with a 4-star fighting with a 5-star for that spot at Ohio State, which is a pretty nice place to be.
Yep. So yeah, let's get into week one. Here we go. This is real football, folks. This counts. FAU, the Horny Owls, whatever. Shawn, I have one question for you.
Go for it.
Are you horny to win?
I am.
Are you horny to win? All right. So we got the Fighting Owls out of Boca Raton. The Lane Kiffinites come to Columbus, noon on Fox. We got Gus and Joel Klatt, the best. I think it's the best announcing duo out there nowadays. I can't really listen to ESPN anymore, so we're kind of left with Fox, which is a good thing. Got to mix it up. So we got Lane Kiffin coming in his third season with the Owls of the Boca Ratonites.
It's been 3 years he's been at the helm now, huh?
This is his third year, 16-10. Very lopsided 2 seasons there. Not very even in the win-loss percentage, but they have non-conference blowouts last year. They got blown the fuck out by Oklahoma and UCF. They're in Conference USA, in case you didn't know.
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I looked it up. If only there was something in my pocket that had all the information I needed. Lane Kiffin has a coach's call-in show kind of thing, and of course Lane Kiffin is always going to give you a quote. This one's short though. The question to him was, "What is the benefit of FAU playing at Ohio State?" Guess Lane Kiffin's response.
I'm really at a loss.
Money.
So,
Just money.
is that what he said?
Money. Yep.
Nice.
Not that.
Well, you know what? Good for you, Lane, and way to tell it like this.
No.
I mean, that's actually, if you want to break it down, that's true.
Right. They're paying
It's
FAU.
it's just some things we don't talk about, man.
Yeah, why is it so weird to talk about money? We're paying FAU $1.4 million to come in and practice with us.
Yeah, but we're paying Miami of Ohio.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everybody's getting a nice check. Yeah, yeah. There's a upside.
You get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
You get a mill. Yeah, exactly. So I have very little information on these cocksuckers, but from what I found, Google's not very helpful, by the way, so don't even bother. FAU needs to replace a lot of starters. Last year, they were scoring like 31 points a game, balanced on offense, 237 rushing, 241 passing per game averages. They lost their running back. He was taken in the third round in the draft. The guy put up some serious numbers. Their starting quarterback, upside for this kid, he was not charged with an off-season sexual battery.
Holla!
So, thumbs up for this guy. It's
judgment call, baby. Judgment call.
Yeah, it's Boca. The allegation was withdrawn, but he was suspended for the entire spring practice. He returned in summer, and he's been competing against a junior and a redshirt sophomore. So this Chris Robinson guy seems to be a hell of a dude. Got off. And he's going to have to take a big step forward. He's a sophomore himself. This is his second year under Lane Kiffin. And not under Lane Kiffin, but you know what I mean. Under Lane Kiffin's system. Hey-o. He threw for 2,500 and 12 touchdowns last year. 12 picks as well, so it's a nice 1-to-1 ratio there. He has some solid offensive linemen and some returning receivers. His receivers have been banged up, though, in fall practice. They've all been limited in camp, and seems like right tackle for them has not been solidified, so they're working in a couple guys there. That could be a weak spot. Looking at you, Chase Young.
They're in big trouble. That quarterback's in big trouble. You know what? They ought to be thankful that Coop is hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. So, switching over to the Owls defense, I don't have a lot of info on these cocksuckers either. Last year, 85th nationally, allowing 424 yards a game. 92nd in points allowed. They allowed 31.8. I would imagine that
in Conference USA against Old D and Marshall and Rice.
They did play UCF and Oklahoma as well. So I'm sure they got lit up pretty well in those games.
Oh, I guarantee they got diced.
This defense is made up of a shitload of transfers, dude. This is like all transfer D. You got some experience on the line and some depth in the secondary, but they got a dude at DN from Last Chance U, the TV show. I remember this kid, Tim Bonner is his name. He's good. Good in junior college. They got a dude from Texas at DN. They got a 6-year senior at D tackle. They got a senior and a USC transfer at D tackle. So
really,
yeah,
that's some talent.
Apparently, maybe, I don't know. There's a reason why they left, right?
Yeah, but there's a reason why they were there in the first place, too. I mean, that's...
Right. So that's what I got on these fucks. Not sure it amounts to much of anything. Just a lot of black and white bullshit. So we laid out our score predictions, right? And we're going to stick to those.
Did.
I got them documented here, so it's on the internet, which means it lives forever.
I mean, I reserve the right once we get into some games to change my picks.
Okay.
But my preseason picks, and definitely my picks for week 1,
yeah,
they're not changing. And mine are documented too. 54-10.
Right. Got you. I got you marked down in bold and italicized because you're an italics kind of guy.
And that 10's going to come late.
Right. And I remember I was very close to yours. My score was... Actually, I think I gave my score first before yours.
You did.
56-10 because I love even touchdown numbers. So 9 touchdowns. Buckeyes are favored 27.5, and the over/under right now is at 63.5. So they're trying to goocher you there on the fucking 63. With our spreads, we're basically saying take the over. Obviously, Buckeyes to cover. But as we all...
I didn't know the over/under. I mean, pretty much nailed that shit. 54-10, so that's 64.
Right. But it looks like they're guessing the OSU defense is not going to be that good if we're only covering by 28. Right? Because
I don't know. I think with Ohio State, they're thinking a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
I think our lines are all going to get bigger and bigger if Ryan Day's running his show and if Fields is able to produce.
I love it when my line gets bigger. But as you know, from year to year, our staple of this program is to give our microscopes on offense and defense. I hope you're prepared for that.
How am I not prepared for that?
All right.
Week 1, it's too easy.
All right. These better not be the same as mine. Go ahead.
They probably are, because they're too easy.
Right.
So you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, do it. Who's your microscope on offense?
Offense, no brainer. It's Justin Fields.
All right.
I haven't seen this kid play. He's only played backup in garbage time. This is our whole season. If he's not that great, maybe we're going to lose a couple games down the stretch. We're not going to lose this one regardless, even if he's not that great. But this is going to be a good confidence builder for him. I think it's going to be a good fan for guys to know what they're looking at to say, hey, is this guy comfortable in the pocket? Has he got poise? Is he making good decisions? So Justin Fields is the whole thing's Justin Fields. If I had to go 2A in week 1, it'd be my boy Run DMC. Gosh, I hope this kid goes off.
Oh, okay. Nice. Interesting. What do you got on defense? Who would be under your microscope?
Well, it's Tough Borland. I'm a skeptic, Tough. So I'm watching you. I think Buckeye Nation's watching you. We love your spirit. We love everything we hear about you. Love the effort. But the results last year were just atrocious. Your running was weak. It's going to need to be better. So I'm watching you. I'm going to need to see serious improvements. If it looks like a lot of that stuff last year, then we're in trouble.
All right.
And need to get it fixed, because some of that stuff last year was bad. Looked like my high school team.
What are you saying about your high school team?
Saying got a linebacker limping down, losing a yard and a half every second or every stride.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, so you basically just hijacked mine, which probably was
Well, of course,
everyone
it
else's.
has to be. Week 1, I mean, what else can we be looking at?
Right. Well, I'll switch it up then and give you something else to look at. Not that photograph that I just texted you. No. My microscopes are going to go on JK then, because I expect big things from him since I just put money on him, like cold hard dollars. I got JK. 1 second. I have him over.
Is it 13?
Over 1,100.
1,310 touchdowns?
I got him over 1,100 yards rushing for the year, regular season.
I love it.
And 10.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. So, that's where my allegiance lies. JK is probably going to be under my microscope all week because I need to make money. Pretty simple.
There's no reason that kid can't smash this, right?
Those numbers are low in my opinion.
20 carries a game. Get that average back up to 6, 7. Especially against these cupcake teams.
Yeah. And he's the bell cow now. He's the guy. He's not sharing with Weber. So I feel confident covering that. Defense, I got Tyreek Smith. I want to see what this kid has under the hood. We haven't seen much of him in game time. So I think he's going to make a major leap from year 1 to year 2.
I like that. I'm with you. Everything anyone's ever said about that kid is spot on for me.
Yep.
Again, I think he's going to be what Chase Young is this year. Tyreek Smith, I'm hoping is next year going in with the this dude is a beast.
That's what we're looking for. We need the next freak to step up. We've had the Bosa brothers in line, and Chase Young took over after Nick. So now it's, the next freak needs to step up, and that's where I see Tyreek Smith taking the next step. So those are my microscopes. I got JK on offense, Tyreek on defense. So final score predictions, you're good with taking the over on that at 63.5?
Yep, I'm going over.
Just barely? Okay.
Yep, I'm going to ride my thing, but I think we need to bring up last year because I nailed it for all you bitches that don't remember. First touchdown of the year. Who scores it for the Buckeyes?
Oh, yeah, we got to do that.
I'm on... I'm going to go with Justin Fields. Sneak. Runs it in.
Oh, all right. I'm going to take JK. JK gets first touchdown of the year. I completely forgot about doing our virgin plays. What about first interception of the year? Do you think it comes in week 1? Probably, right? Why not?
Definitely comes in week 1. I'm expecting at least 2 in week 1, frankly.
From the sex offender.
And I think Shawn Wade's probably going to have your first pick.
Gotcha, yeah. I'm going to go Okuda. Well, no. Yeah, I'm going to go Okuda. I think they're going to be stupid enough to tempt him. And Okuda's been...
You think they're going to throw his way at all?
I don't know these receivers much.
Yeah, I think Wade or Arnett are going to get more opportunities than Okuda.
Tough call. All right, I'll switch that. I'm going to go Fuller on tipped balls. I'll go Fuller. because I don't have any confidence in Arnett. Sorry. If he's not touching a receiver, he's not touching the ball.
Arnett, you know I've hated you your whole career. This year, right now, you're my favorite player. When we go into the season, we're fresh, me and you. It's like it never happened.
Yeah.
I love you. You're my guy. You came back.
Look at you. I like it.
I bet
Starting fresh.
I'm burying the hatchet.
Nice. That's
Arnett's
big.
my boy.
Yeah.
Until proven otherwise.
Until week 1. Or week 2.
Well, we'll see. But I got to tell you, man, I love Okudah and Wade. Ooh. So Arnett, I mean, hey, you're my guy, but
you should remember that Wade led the team in interceptions last year, which isn't saying
Wade
much because
did?
they only had like 12 interceptions last year. But yeah, Wade did.
really,
So if anybody's going to be afraid of a player on defense, I would say Wade might be the guy you steer away from.
no, everyone knows that Okudah's going to be a top 10 pick.
All right.
And they're like, nah, I'm
Fuck
not.
it. I'm sticking with Okudah. I'm not switching this Fuller. I'm sticking with Okudah. I'm going.
Okudah's going to have like 10 chances all year.
No. All right, here's a good one, and this is probably very easy. First sack, because that's definitely going to happen this week. I'll give you first pick.
BB Landers.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
Yep,
BB.
yep,
All right.
for sure.
I'm going Tyreek Smith because Chase Young is going to be doubled, maybe even tripled. Not that that's going to stop him. It's just going to make it more difficult for him to adjust to in his first game, week 1. I think it's going to open the other side for some easy pickings.
I do too. Early in the season, I think whoever playing across from Chase Young has got, if you can beat your guy 1-on-1, there's going to be some opportunities, man.
Yep.
Serious opportunities. I don't mind that. But no, I think you're going to sell out on stopping the Ohio State pass rush.
Yep.
I think guys going to step up in the pocket. And I think BB or Devon are going to be there and smashing right up in the middle of the pocket.
I agree. What other first do we need to go with? Any other?
First fumble?
Oh, on offense? Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's terrible. Probably
I know
DeMario.
it's terrible, but it's going to happen.
We both can't pick DeMario. That doesn't make it fun.
I think it's going to be Fields probably.
Yeah.
And I'm not even counting a bad snap if he's in shotgun or like mishandled snap, but
That's a concern. Yeah.
I tough spot, a lot of pressure on you, and then with his running on top of it, he's not just sitting back there. I'm guessing Fields is our first fumble.
I'm going to go Teague because he runs that upright style, makes himself an easy target.
That's what they said about Eddie George.
Yeah, well, he's not
good
Eddie
for ya.
George. He's not Eddie George. Not yet.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah. I'm sure Eddie George fumbled his fucking freshman, sophomore year. Take a linebacker coming into your stomach. What else? You want to do first defensive touchdown. Those are
How
hard.
about we do first Desmond Howard to choke a bitch?
Oh, yeah. Well, we can move on.
No.
That's our next segment, but yeah, we can jump into that. This segment is now called the Which Michigan Guy Stepped in It This Week. Harbaugh has been our running champion up until this point, but now Desmond has leaped his way or choked his way into the winner this week. If anybody didn't see it, there's video. Just hit Google. I have the audio of it here for you if you really want to enjoy it at premium.
Yeah, we do.
Michigan make a big enough splash to beat Ohio State this year? I know you've never been asked that question.
Reese Davis, is Desmond Howard going to have the Djokovic?
Did you get that?
I think Desmond's going to have to choke a bit.
Do you believe he said that? That is on TV, like real TV. That's not this show.
Can I believe it? Yeah, I believe it. And you know what? I ain't even mad at it. What I'll be mad at is if they gloss over it and be like this. I actually think all of us should be able to talk like this all of the time. I know what Desmond was saying. He's joking around, saying, like comedians. But in today's fucking crazy-ass world, it's like, oh my gosh, he condones choking women. No, he fucking doesn't.
Right.
He's a total moron. He's a total idiot. But if we're going to apply the same standards to everybody, then Des probably has to go. If Herbie says, I'm going to choke a bitch out, I'm guessing Herbie needs to too.
Yeah, you're not going to get fired for that.
In today's culture, I wish we turned back the clock where we could just talk like regular dudes, like we talk. And you know what? If you don't like our brand, you think that it's a little bit off color, then fine. I get that. I get that there's people that think that, hey, that's not my. But don't make it such a huge deal. Like, go to an alternative that's a little less, spicy for your type of stuff. But on that it's college game day, not well placed, Desmond. He's such a fucking douchebag that I'd be amazed. I'm amazed you still have that job, frankly.
Just because of the lack of quality opinions over the years, not for this thing. You should not get fired for something like that. But I want to point out a little bit of a backstory, kind of roundabout Desmond Howard issue from the past. Not that this is comparable so much, but Columbus radio station guy back in 2012 said, this guy used to be on 97.1 The Fan, said that he was commenting about Desmond Howard and his terrible opinions, and he basically said that I wish Desmond Howard would get fired or die so I can watch Game Day again. That was a tweet, all right? That was a radio host tweeted that.
2012?
He got fired for that. He got fucking fired, lost his job for that. Okay? So that's the overly concerned ESPN culture. Because 97.1 is an ESPN station. So they're making the calls, right? Not to say that Desmond should get fired. That's not my opinion. I'm just saying people have done less and gotten fired for it, because they weren't Desmond Howard's status. You know what I'm saying? The Chocobus.
No, I do. I haven't followed after you said that. I mean, as ESPN released a statement like, "Hey, we're cool with it," and he talked to Desmond, and
he released a very awkward statement, like in the next segment. Like 15.
I saw his, and his was awkward and dumb.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if ESPN said anything.
I haven't seen anything from them, no. But regardless, I mean, I'm sure they could have from their PR, department, obviously.
I swear, if you go to Ann Arbor, it makes you so fucking weird. Harbaugh, Howard, all of them.
Yeah,
bunch of weirdos.
That's my point. This is like a weekly segment that we didn't make up. They put it. This stuff is in national light. Like anybody could do this every week. What we're doing, we're just talking about the latest Michigan guy that puts his foot in his mouth, and typically it's Harbaugh. Yeah, and Harbaugh is a magnet.
I was talking to some diehards and even that love Michigan, and they're like, yeah, the Harbaugh shtick is starting to wear a little bit thin. They better win soon, man.
Yeah,
it is wearing thin up here with these blue bloods.
Yeah, but until they start pulling their contributions from the school, it's not going to matter, because who are you going to go get? You're not going to get anybody else. You're paying Harbaugh fucking like arm and a leg, like NFL money. So good luck finding anybody else that's going to put up 10 wins a year ish in that ballpark, you know.
I don't know. I feel like fucking Pulse could put up 10. You still got the brand. You're still going to get better recruits than most of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I would, you know, any decent coach, I feel, should live in the 9-3, 11-1 range at Michigan.
Yeah, but Hoke and fucking Rich Rod couldn't do that. They got fired. Harbaugh, I think, can get you 9, 10, not 11. I don't think he can get you 11 a year.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the guy can't ever win a big game at any level, anywhere, anyhow.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. They're absolutely loaded.
Everybody keeps saying this is the year, just like Nebraska. This is their year.
I don't buy that Nebraska bullshit at all.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about defense, Nebraska?
That's a big problem.
mean,
that's a big problem.
That's a big problem.
Yep. Let's not point fingers, but you're a problem. Yeah. So I know they went 4-8 last year, went on a bit of a run, if you call 4-8 a bit of a run late in the season, and yeah, Nebraska doesn't concern me whatsoever. I think that's going to be ugly in Lincoln. Lynching in Lincoln is what I'll call it. But yeah,
no, I think Sparty's a sleeper pick.
Yeah.
Michigan State's the favorite, and Ohio State, we're just going to lay right under there and take your disrespect and build a juggernaut. But it sets up for Michigan. At home versus Sparty, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Yeah. We did have two Michigan guys stepping in this week. Harbaugh is the kind of standard bearer for this segment. He did work his way into the national media, and they called the SEC cheaters in his new book coming out.
Yeah, it's hard to beat the cheaters, right?
Exactly, yeah. Of course, Michigan Guy is the author of the book, John U. Bacon. I like John U. Bacon. I don't know why he goes by that, because that's a really weird name, John U. Bacon. Why do you go with the U? I would just go by Johnny Bacon or something, you know. But
how about JB?
Yeah, there you go. If my name was a food or a drink, I would go by Joe Bourbon, right? Joe Bacon, Joe Bourbon.
JB.
Things that taste good. So anyway, yeah, Harbaugh can't get out of the media. You know, the guy that can't put up big wins and big games seems to love the limelight somehow, and is banging on the people south of the Mason-Dixon line, which is an easy target, especially when you talk about recruiting. You know, we've been doing it for years. You know, the bagmen are the bagmen, and they're typically in the southeast area, right?
Yeah, but let me tell you what's gold. What's gold is to go on to M Live up here in Michigan.
Yeah.
And go to the sports section and you pick Wolverines or Spartans, which I always do. And sometimes pick Wolverines, sometimes Spartans. Wolverines, you know, something. And so there was nothing on Desmond Howard, you know, nothing on stuff like that. But when it came to that Harbaugh shit, nothing on that either. I had to go to different sources. But the Spartan that shit into some, and I go fed some live. About 80% of the comments on Michigan or Michigan State football are just garbage. I mean, need to be fucking moderated. It is all trolling. And that's why, I go to some place like Lebanon Warriors and Buckeye sites. I guess we don't have the trolls coming in trying to fuck it up, and maybe it'd be a lot better in Michigan if they didn't. And I don't really go to any other Michigan sites where maybe it is, but you go to a place like 11 Warriors, you get some fucking homer, stupid point of view bullshit, but you also get a lot of good, insight, or at least opinion on what people think, about players' schemes, about football.
Right.
I feel the football IQ is 10 points higher.
Yeah.
In Ohio.
Well, yeah, and the alumni count is so much greater. I mean, it's probably a fucking 3-to-1, 5-to-1 kind of ratio, Ohio State versus both Michigan teams, just in numbers. Sheer numbers. So, yeah, I get your point.
I had a point.
Semi-point. Point taken, point lost. Next point. Last thing you want to touch on the AP Top 25 poll quickly. Big Ten had 7 teams. Buckeyes were number 5. Michigan.
Where was Michigan?
7. Again, I hate these preseason polls because it skews everybody's opinion about every team. Some teams don't deserve to be in this top 25.
It shows me that right now, at least with that poll, that some of these guys are smart. To me, Ohio State has a bunch of question marks. If I'm like the outsider looking in, I think, you know what, I put Michigan at 4 or 5, and I put Ohio State at 7. Right. We got to see what Ohio State is. But these guys know. They know how loaded we are.
Yep.
They know Michigan's going to shit the bed.
Right.
And someone just threw out there, since 2000, Michigan has finished higher than their preseason ranking, twice.
Huh.
Something ridiculous.
I believe that. I believe that because
over fucking rated.
I would say you could make the same argument for Notre Dame. Those two perennial favorites from yesteryear get way too much attention just because of who they are. It's simply name alone. Nobody does the investigation into their roster,
But I look at Michigan's roster on paper. Michigan should be beasts.
Yeah.
But everyone knows they're going to win they can't win a big game.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if they can be beasts. They have a tough schedule. Same with Notre Dame coming in there at number 9. They are in big trouble. But this is not really a poll about their schedule. This is a poll about how good you think their team is. It's really not where they're going to finish at the end of the year, because this is going to change week to week, right? So,
right, but it's if the year ended today, this is who they think would be the guys. So it is and it isn't, and it's obviously going to change.
Yeah, I think most of it is leftovers from last year, honestly. Why is Clemson number 1? Because they fuck away.
Yeah, but why? If that were true, why would Michigan even be 7? Michigan got blown out the last 2 games.
Right.
By a team that I watched yesterday,
right.
And it looked like shit, by the way.
Right. And they're just in front of Florida, who barely won. Yeah. By the way, how the fuck is Florida not blowing out Miami? And why is Tate not getting more touches in that game? I was livid. Oh my God, I was losing it because Florida, just 2 garbage teams, and that's why I should not gamble on those games. Another point, another reason why I need to keep my money in my pocket.
So at my fancy dinner last night, I walked in, my guy's like, hey, I got Florida, or give me Miami in the points.
Yeah.
He's like, no way with these Florida. These guys are bums. Go down to the bartender, Joe Muellers. He knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, well, I put way too much stock in that Dan Mullen train and too less stock into the Manny Diaz, which I don't know how they're going to go 500 with that fucking crew, but
what's that douchebag quarterback's name? He's a fucking clown at Florida. A fucking
Felipe
clown.
Franks, he's a douche, yeah.
He's a total douche.
I saw that first quarter where he's running around talking shit to the fans. I'm like, oh great, here we go. I just burned up my money. I might as well just set it on fire because this idiot is trying to party with the fans and talk shit to them.
Oh, he's a clown, and then he did some like gangster pose, and then after Florida went up, and because his defense totally fucking bailed him out,
right?
With 10 sacks, I think they had.
And a few turnovers.
And then that dickhead goes in there with the league, like game's over.
Yeah.
And first throw, he throws a pick, and they return to like the 25.
Right. I know.
And that was after his gangster pose, and he was getting like smart on camera, like he's like, "I told you this is what I do. Don't ask me no more questions."
Right.
And then he goes out there and throws a pick like a bitch.
Then avoids the cameras, like,
yeah,
it's so millennial.
Fucking clown shoes.
Such a millennial.
Oh,
yeah. I saw that shit. I watched it deep into the third. Yeah, maybe into the fourth, actually. I just got worn out by that crew. And those dumb fucking rings. What's the Miami rings?
Oh, touchdown!
Yeah,
turnover chains.
I just want to see Tate play. You know, I was like flipping back and forth.
He got in there a couple times late and didn't do it.
Right.
It's like, you know what though? Maybe we don't know because we never let him throw it either. They don't let the kid throw.
He doesn't have
to me, it's like you know exactly what you're defending when Tate comes in.
Yeah,
they
let him throw in spring ball, and Buckeyes let him throw, and everybody that has watched
practice. Not a game they didn't let him throw.
Not much, like a couple times. Like, he did have a couple touchdowns in garbage time against like Rutgers and Maryland, or not Maryland, but Rutgers. I remember
he had runs. Yeah, he'd have like 6 throws on the season and 30 runs.
Yeah, but I just want to see Tate get the ball because he could be electric if you get him the ball in space out there at a slot. Let him run a fucking little slant or a drag across the middle. But both of those teams are garbage. Dan Mullen's a garbage coach. That Manny Diaz guy has never coached. A head coach, been a head coach. He's way over his head, and he's got limited talent, anyways. So that was
almost wish Tate would have went to like he's going to go to Miami and get buried down there in that garbage. Like, go to a Rutgers, Maryland. Start. I mean, what's Rutgers got to lose?
I think
Rutgers developing like class quarterbacks.
No, you're right. I don't know what he was thinking going down to Miami. That's pretty stupid because that Jerron Williams started as a freshman, and if you thought you were going to unseat a freshman that a new coach is bringing in,
he sucks though.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying the guy's good, but the head coach has attached himself to the freshman quarterback. Second year guy now. But anyway, Tate is not a good thrower of the ball, man. That's why he should have made the position change here at Ohio State last year. He should have made, and the coaches should have put him in that direction. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. We don't know what kind of conversations went on behind the scenes, but they definitely told him to transfer. And I don't know,
though. Don't you think it was weird? I feel like early on last year, or maybe it was even the year before, that Meyer was always like, "Oh my gosh, Tate,
Yeah.
such competitor,
Yeah,
he's gonna, you know."
Herb was still
Recruiting
Tate. Herb was recruiting Tate to stay. That's what he was doing. That's why they gave him those garbage red zone packages where he did not throw the ball. You notice that? It was all read option.
Oh, I noticed.
So there's a reason. They were re-recruiting Tate to stay because Tate had gone to them before the season started back in January of 2018 and said he wanted to transfer. So they gave him these little red zone packages of the read zone or the read option, and it was enough to placate him kind of, but you notice he never threw the ball in a game unless it was garbage time against Rutgers.
Right.
And Tate doesn't have the arm, dude. I'm sorry. He barely had an arm in high school. He was recruited. I would say misrecruited. He
never lost the game he started. I want to see, you know what? All I want to see is him start a game and not win it. Because they ain't never happened.
But you can't afford that as a college coach. You can't afford to give a guy that kind of rope to hang himself with. Because you're attached to that loss.
At Miami, you can't now.
Sure, yeah. Miami can afford plenty of losses. And they will. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tate starting at quarterback or at least go in second half to try and rally a team because of what he can do with the read option. But he's not going to move your team down the field with his arm. And you got to be able to do both. I mean, JT, you could fault him for all of his arm limitations, but he could at least put a ball out there, you know.
High football IQ.
Yeah.
He knew what was going on there.
Yeah. He's the Tebow. Tebow, basically, same thing. You know,
he's smart. Don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Just
know when to
with these guys all day with what we do.
Know when to bring it down. Tate is a risk taker, obviously, and without the arm. You know, he couldn't throw those out routes. JT at least could make those out routes. We've seen JT do those big time throws, not like Dwayne Haskins style, but much better arm than Tate. And Tate can't take a fucking pounding like JT could. I mean, that's like a 20-pound difference between those two dudes.
JT is a freaking warrior.
Yeah, and a low base.
I don't know. I mean, everything I've ever heard about Tate is, you know, and he doesn't have that size, obviously, but Tate's a fighter. Tate's a competitor, man.
Yeah. That's what surprised me about him bailing out of Ohio State, in my opinion, relatively quickly, without considering a position change. And then now, when they announced the other quarterback was starting in Miami, he took the day off of practice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that day. So it's like, come on.
College kids are allowed to take the day off practice?
Apparently. Yeah. He must have called in sick or something. Maybe he had.
That is millennials.
Yeah, that's a PTO day or something. I don't know.
I mean, I can't imagine calling my high school coach and saying, "Hey, Zeus, you know what? I don't like what you've been doing shit, essentially. Yeah. I'm going to take today off. I'll see you guys tomorrow."
Well, it's not just coincidence that they announced the other kid was the starter in front of him that day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, sorry, Zeus. I'm a little offended that you gave the other guy the starting job in front of me. I'm going to go ahead and miss practice today. I don't feel good.
You probably think a lot more highly of me that I do that.
Yeah, that'll help you out. If it was close, now it's not.
Right.
Yeah. So then you make a position change and get a couple snaps late in the second half. And No balls. Yeah, like I told you before, I think I texted you that Tate should have fucking made that position change to H at Ohio State last year, like over a year ago, the year and a half ago, because
right, you'd be fighting with Jalen Gill with it right now.
Shit,
right?
Fuck yeah, but Tate is his size, and I would argue that Tate might be the better athlete.
Nah,
I've seen it.
I don't think so.
Seen Tate. We haven't seen Jalen Gill.
Nah, I've seen that.
We've seen
before
Tate.
He came. I can't wait to see Jalen Gill. I bet you he comes up on my microscope list this year at some point.
Yeah, he should have been on mine. I
does.
kind of forgot about him. I should have logged him in for my offensive microscope because he's going to get plenty of touches this week.
I'm excited about that kid.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right, man. I think we went pretty deep. We turned that AP Top 25 into a Tate Martell discussion quickly.
Tate Martell.
Buckeye legend and never saw the field.
Yeah.
So, anyway, folks, we appreciate you joining us. Week 1 is coming up so quickly. I can't fucking wait.
Oh, I know. Go Buckeyes.
Yeah.
I turned down tickets at free tickets Sparty game Friday night.
Ooh.
Nah, I ain't interested. They're playing like Meatloaf Tack. I ain't interested.
Yeah.
Get prepared. Labor Day weekend. Nah.
Yeah, that's a tough thing, Labor Day weekend, to have football. I mean, it's good and bad because there's so much shit to do, but at least, you know, I got to go.
At least it's football season, damn it.
Yeah, I got to go over to Orlando. I'm going to watch the game at Jeff's house. Ooh, tropical storm coming. Party. Yeehaw. Anyway, so week 1 coming up.
In the books.
Yep. Buckeyes are going to roll big time. We got our lead pipe locks. We got our microscopes in there. Please, folks, don't forget, look out for that next T-shirt giveaway. Everybody loves a free T-shirt, right? I sent out 3 this week. People are loving that shit. It's just a tri-blend. Who doesn't love a tri-blend, Shawn?
I love the tri-blend. I was wearing my Woody Hayes shirt today.
Nice. Did you get to tell any Michigan fans what it was about?
I didn't. Most of them know, though.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And the bonus is they hate me reminding them of it.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. Not only do they know, but you have the shirt in their face. And don't forget to hit the Buckeye Cast store. Lots of new shirts out there. I just uploaded a few new designs. If you want a design you have in mind, I'll fucking make it for you. I don't give a shit. So, Shawn, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you next week.
Later.
Peace.